Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this study. Going to be talking about complete response letters or CRLs today. And before we proceed any further, I would like to state that the information in this video is not a recommendation to buy or sell any securities and is for educational purposes only. So guys, a CRL is when the FDA makes a decision to reject a drug product. This is based on a risk-benefit calculation or determination based on two things, very important: the safety of the drug and the effectiveness of the drug. Does the drug work? Does the drug legit? These are the things that the FDA looks at. And what I have pulled up here is from the CFR, or Code of Federal Regulations, pretty much the guidelines here that the companies have to follow when they submit their approval and receive a complete response letter. There's a lot of information here, but I'll do my best to summarize it in this short video. I think this is very important to know these details whenever you are handling trading or investing in any biotech companies. Biotechs are numerous, not a lot of them make it. And you have to deal with picking and choosing companies that, if you are trading in this sector, you do have to realize the risks that these companies come and go. And in summary, when looking at the CRL, is that it's important to note that it's not a disapproval. What a CRL, the CRL does not specifically indicate that a drug product is not safe and effective. That, I think, is where a lot of people get confused with looking at a CRL. A CRL, think of it more as the FDA is requesting, right, more details or has questions regarding the company submission. So a CRL is not the end of the world for a biotech or pharma company. It helps the company from resubmitting a whole brand new application unless otherwise advised by the FDA on their decision, and they say, hey, you know what, you're going to have to do all of this all over again. That could be potential. But the CRLs contain these recommendations listed here in this, as you can see in this CFR, and these recommendations help the company to gain approval. Now, most importantly, it is up to the company to determine where the program is going to come to an end, or are they going to continue to develop their program, their drug product, all that good stuff. So why is this important to know? These are binary events that come with huge implications for a company in the market. So a small young biotech company, for example, heavily relying on its first product, right? It could face tremendous upside and boost the business to profitability and growth. But on the other side of the coin, if the company doesn't succeed, you can imagine this becomes a huge setback. And then the company could even face trouble running out of funds or bankruptcy. You have to remember, there are so many of these companies, and the way how they work, most of them, is that they receive funding of some sort. That's their lifeline. If the lifeline gets cut, boom, the company's done. That's why you have such huge volatility in this marketplace. And with that quick explanation, what I want to do is use two examples that I really like, and it's a great way to illustrate this point and get an idea out there for you guys who are new to trading biotechs in the market. The idea of how serious in the stock market these CRLs can be. But remember, it is not saying that the drug is not safe and effective, unless stated. They're looking for rather to run statistical data, extra tests, or look at maybe the manufacturing. And we'll look at two examples right now. First one is going to be Sezen Bio. This one is such a great example, and it was such a long story developing. I even made another a YouTube video about this one because even myself, I have been in this name, I think back in like 2017, around that time. And this name, although I wasn't in it after 2017, I was only maybe in it for 3-6 months. to do a swing trade. But what happened here is that when you look at the chart, you could see that on these daily candles, these days, you could see back in February 2021 to May, stock's been trading in a range here where you have buyers and you have sellers highlighted here. And it's very interesting that we see it bouncing in between this low of $2.25 and about $3.50 up here. So you have the event coming up. Investors are picking up on the news. They see that the event is coming up for the decision on the product, right? And guess what happens right here? You see this trend line? Increased buying. It just becomes a wave of momentum. And you will notice that right here, $2 all the way up to $4. That's 100% return on your money right there. And this is the cool thing about having this knowledge of trading biotechs. And one of the strategies that I talk about of avoiding these drops from potential CRLs is that you could do this. You could play the run up to these events, and it's a conservative strategy. But hey, you just made 100% return on your money. You were able to get out before the big event, which you could see happen here. And it's a way to protect your capital and make some extra money. Now, if you were to hold on, yeah, maybe the stock could boost. Because look, it did hit a high of $6. But guess what? It sinked all the way to 70 cents. That is a serious, severe drop. Yeah, so as you can imagine, how could this have been? What just happened to all the money here? Well, very simple. The FDA said they could not approve the company's biologics license application, otherwise known as a BLA, related to this product. The product was Vicinium for treatment for a type of bladder cancer. And the recommendation was that, hey, we need additional clinical and statistical data. So they needed to look at their studies, run data. And then even on top of that, they said, well, we were looking at the company's chemistry, the way how they put this drug together. We were looking at the manufacturing process. And even the controls, the way how the study is set up. So they pretty much just attacked this company on the submission data and told them, hey, your statistical data, we need it revised. We need you to look at the chemistry process, the manufacturing process, and the controls and study design practically. So a lot of things just went wrong there, and here's the result. This is the risk that you take trading these biotechs, and when you face a CRL, you just killed the company's hopes and dreams of having a product that could have boosted market share, boost investors, and maybe a potential product that could have worked in patients. But according to FDA standards, remember, they're going to look at safety and efficacy. Those are the two things that they look at to determine their decisions here. So you can see the stock hasn't recovered. It's just been dead, and that is the result of a CRL. So the next one that I want to look at here is BYSI. This one on a smaller time frame scale. Notice that this is not days. This is over 30-minute intervals, these candles. So I have a trading right here of 10 days listed. And you can see that on Tuesday at $12, it shot up over the next two trading days to about $14, $17, and there you go. There was your run up to the event, and you saw that people took profits here. And then you have 2 more days until the event. The FDA decision came out. They couldn't approve the product, so they issued a CRL. The CRL caused the stock price and the sentiment of all these investors to just take their money out. You can see that here it dropped to $3, $4. What happened here? FDA reviewed the data. They said, hey, The results on the single registrational trial was not robust to show that there was benefit, or to demonstrate that benefit, and that they were saying to the company that we need a second well-controlled trial that would be required to kind of back up the evidence to support their indication on the drug product. And the drug product it's a niche drug. It's used for chemo-oncology patients, so it does have that unique market sector in there. And the way how the drug works is pretty much that patients who are receiving these chemo drugs, they get chemo-induced nausea. It would help with that chemo-induced nausea that they would get, and that was the idea. Again, what can one do when dealing with an FDA binary decision coming up, such as these drug approvals and not rejection, but a CRL being issued? This is where you hear the phrase of playing the run-up, and that's what I'm talking about. You have two examples here where I showed you where you went from $12 to $14, you got a $2 move in a short period of time, and then over a longer period of time, when we looked at Says in Bio, you saw 100% return on the run-up to the event. So what you can do is, it is a conservative strategy, but fairly effective, and you protect your capital, and most importantly, you make sure your money's working for you. Rather than holding your investments into the binary FDA decision event, you would close your position. Instead of holding, right, you close before, take your profits days before the event takes place, and you know what? You protect yourself from any surprise move to the downside, especially if a CRL is issued, because now you have seen the magnitude of the CRL, what it can do, and if you are going to be in one of these names for the long run, I mean, that's another strategy you can do too, but remember, you got to make sure that the company has cash on hand, and they have other products in the pipeline too, because if it's a company like Sezin that only has their one-star lineup, that drug, and they're getting all that bad news, it's going to kill investor sentiment. You're going to have the stock price pretty low. You got to think about cash on hand. Is there bankruptcy, in the picture? All those things are valid to think about. So guys, I hope this quick video helped you get a better idea of what exactly is a CRL, what does it mean when a company gets a CRL, how to navigate around an upcoming CRL or FDA approval coming up on a drug. And if you enjoyed this video and my content, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. You can visit me at thetradestudy.com, ask me any questions you may have, and I will see you in the next one.